Well, hello, sunshines. We are back, and I hope you all are doing well, per usual. That is my hope. Today, we have to do some planting up. These are house plants. I realized something, though. I have become the designated gardener plant lady for the family. And so, my grandmother gives me another plant. I am so glad that my grandmother is still here with me right now. It's such a tremendous blessing to still have her. So she has a few house plants and she's like, I don't want to take care of them anymore. I don't know what to do with this. Here you go. And so this is like, I think the second or third plant she's given me. And that's fine. I'm up for the challenge because this is what she gave me. She gave me this beautiful orchid plant. And so I know nothing. When I tell you nothing about most of these plants, I know nothing about this orchid plant, but this is a Mystique orchid plant. And so I did some investigating, like I went and did research, aka Google, and I found a couple of videos on the orchid plant as well. It seems to be doing fine. It has some blooms that have faded that I need to take off, but it also has to have its own particular potting mix. And so I had to go on Amazon and I was able to get this orchid. This is premium orchid potting mix because it doesn't just like regular potting mix. It needs to have like bark inside of it. And so it has its own potting mix. And so I was able to grab that. But let me show you the vases. Okay. Oh, and don't go in a grocery store. I know I'm trying to relax, but I love a good succulent. I think I told you all this before. Grocery store plant, $4.99. Look how big this is. I can definitely make babies from it if I want. But this is, let me see. I don't see a name for it, probably because it's a grocery store plant. It just actually says succulent. I don't know the name of this plant. I didn't do any research Googling about this plant. So let me tell you about the pots. So y'all know that store that not everybody has, Job Lot. They have the most beautiful pots. In this pot right here, oh my gosh, $5. The detail on this pot, the flower, oh my gosh, it's so gorgeous. It is super pretty. It is. It really is. It's not just me just saying. I think you all are going to agree with me. I picked up this pot. This I could not leave. I love black. So to find this decorative black pot, $5. Oh, gorgeous. Do you see the detail on that? Oh my gosh, it's so pretty. Oh, oops. Thank God I didn't break it. Can I show you all the detail on that? Oh, gorgeous. Then this pot, it doesn't have much detail, but you see the way it's shaped? It almost looks, this one was $8. It almost looks handmade. I don't think any of these are handmade. I could be wrong. Anyways, I've been wrong about a lot of things. $8 for this. But you see, it just reminds me of like pottery, like when people go to the pottery class and they have to like shape and mold the bowls and they don't worry about the perfection of it. They just go along with the imperfections. And this to me reminded me of that. I hope you all understand what I'm saying. Do you see? Let me turn it. It still has the tag on it, but do you see what I'm saying? We'll definitely have to give you all, I hope you're going to get a close up for sure. Okay, so those are our pots. Let's take our tags off. And I want them to come off without leaving anything behind. Talking about the tag, like sometimes when you go, like when I went to take that tag off, it leaves some of the white sticky part behind. I don't want anything. I want a clear lift up. Thank you, pot. That pot is just so beautiful. And so I know a lot of you all don't have ocean state Job Lot. I usually say Job Lot, but the full name is Ocean State Job Lot. But they really have a lot of items in there for gardening and tools and trellises and very reasonable. I'm waiting for them to get some of their trellises in because I may need a few trellises this year. Last year I made my own, but I'm looking for some more decorative ones. You know, aesthetics are important to me. So the ones I made last year, they worked, but so those are the 3 pots, just beauties. And so my thought was the orchid would go in here, and I better stop clanging these. And then maybe the succulent will go in one of these, but then I'll have this pot for nothing, or the succulent might go in here. I didn't really have an idea for this black pot. I just want to make sure it all comes together with the other pots that I have over here, and I have 2 over there. And so the other thing I want to do today is I'm going to be repotting this. I like terracotta pots a lot, but I like them more for outside. And so I want to repot this plant in one of these as well. And the other thing I want to do is give you all an update. Remember, I planted up this pothos. This pothos is doing okay. It has, but I overwatered it. And so because I did that, there are some leaves that I need to cut back, but it's actually doing fine. This is the one that we potted up together, and I did it in soil, root it in soil. I took some clippings and I decided I was just going to root it in soil. And so what happened was I was trying to stay up on the watering, and I thought it needed more water, but it actually didn't. And so it caused some of the leaves to yellow. And so that's what I'm doing here, just clipping off leaves. But the other ones are pretty strong. The leaves that I didn't overwater. As you can, if you can see right here, there's some new leaf growth on that one. There's some over here. There's another leaf that has a little bit of yellow one, but I'm going to leave that one. This one right here, it just looks wonky because it's been sitting in the dirt. And so what I've been doing is when I've been coming around and trying to sit some of them up on top of the chain. And so I think that's enough clipping. When I hang it up, I'll see whether I need to do some more. But we do have some new growth here on this pothos plant. And so let me test it. It may or may not need water. I think I'm going to not give it water. I'm going to let it dry out a little bit more. So I'm going to hang it back in its spot. Untangle this. Oops. Oh. There we go. For now, I think I twisted it. I'll fix it later. But what I've been doing is kind of like coming in and having them sit up, the ones that can, just moving them about. And of course, they don't want to, what do you call it? Cooperate with me right now. I don't know. They're mad. So anyways, so we got that all cleaned up. So let's get to potting these ones up. So like I said, I'm no expert. The other thing is this orchid plant, from what I understand, should do well in this container. The container that has holes in it, it actually helps it to breathe more. So it actually fits in there nicely. So I'm going to go ahead and use it. So from what I did I say pothos plant? I meant to say orchid if I did it. So what I can see on this orchid plant already is that this leaf right here is dead. So I'm going to take that off. I'm going to take off all the spent, I don't know if you call it that with this, but the blooms that are done. I'm going to take those off. And then I'm going to take it completely out of its old, and there's not much in there. You see that? There's nothing in there. It was in a container, a plastic container. It doesn't have holes all around, but it was in a plastic container. We'll leave that there. We'll have to find something to plant in there. I may have something. And then from what I understand, you want to go through, and if you all can see that right there, these are dead. So you want to go through and cut off all those dead. But if you can also see, it has plenty of green. So it's not dying. It just has some. And from what I understand, that could be from the moisture, from what I saw, from too much water, from not enough airflow, from a few different things. So we're going to just go through, turn it around, and I'm just going to go through, and you see that just came off. And so you don't want to leave that in there. I'm going to just go through and clip off anything that looks not unbeneficial for the plant. Up here, I see a lot of, they're just dead. I don't know the lifespan of this. If you have any idea, please let me know. I'll continue to look some things up. That's the one thing I didn't look up, was like the lifespan of this indoor plant. And so we just want to, I'm going to actually take all the old bark off, and I'm going to put the whole thing with new bark. That's what I'm going to do. Or with its new soil. Soil and bark mixture. And that right there, I'll just compost. But let's just start from scratch. To see any more I want to cut away. I don't want to be too dramatic. I don't want it to go into like, what do you call it, like plant shock. And then, so there we have it. So I want to cut, I want to cut that one off. And I hope I'm not doing more damage. I'll have to give you all an update on this. All right. So we'll leave it there. And what I noticed is, like, now that I took it out, it has like this little cage up here. I don't know what that's for. I didn't see anything about that. It has like this little cage inside of it for, like, I'm guessing the roots, main roots. Okay, let's get this back. And so this is bark. So this is, for some reason, I got two. So I'm not going to open this one. I'm going to open this particular one that I got off online. It's made by Deuce Pro, DUSPRO. I'm going to open this because it looks like there may be some information in here. I could be wrong. So I can tell, like, it looks like it has like vermiculite, of course. But let's see, what does this say? Okay, here we are. Here we go. Oh, it does. Okay. So, yep, it has the planters with the hole. Okay, so this, I will take time to read through. I won't do it right here with y'all. But okay, this will definitely probably be useful to me. So I'm gonna keep that. I want to get this. And so this just looks like a mixture of vermiculite, some dry potting soil, some bark. So I'm gonna put some in the bottom of the pot. I think that's vermiculite. Oh, I could be wrong today. Me and all my could be wrongs, because I've never planted this plant. And then, so we can sit it there. And the purpose is, like, you see how this root just went through the hole? That's supposed to be helpful to the plant. So well, let's just shake the rest of the bag in. And as you can see, the items are going to fall through the hole. I'll just pick them up, and when I put them in a container, put it in that way. Oops. And it does have moss in it. I wonder if I should have mixed the moss throughout. That's one thing about dry. When you're working with like stuff like this. Oh. And if I'm doing something that I should be doing different when I read through the manual, I'll just take it all apart. Oops. I'm actually going to use some of the old bark because I just feel like, yeah, the way everything is coming through the holes. And also I want to use the old bark to kind of give it some stability, help with the stability of it. The things you experiment with in life. I will wash my hands in case there was instructions like, don't, I'm going to put the bark on top because this particular bark is pretty actually. It's kind of like dressing the mulch. Yeah. Okay. And then this is the pot we're going to be using. I think it looks nice in there. This is the other option. Let me see. Ooh, that looks good too. I don't know. I really bought this pot for that, but we can use this for something else. Let me see. Let me know what you all think. Let me look at that from every angle. Oh, I don't know, guys. I think I'm gonna go with this pot right here. And so I'll keep looking at it and make a decision after. But that's our orchid plant. I'm gonna give it not too much, but some water. And I'm also gonna spray down the leaves. Water this in, but not too much. But because that soil is so dry, I think it's important to water it in. Okay. Oops. I'm so glad I have this up here right now. I forgot to get a tray. Just gonna steal this tray. Grab some paper towels. Okay. There we go. All right. Actually, I need to move it so you all can see me for the next plant up. Move you right here in the corner. Okay. So I'm so glad that I invested in this. So let's see, maybe this is going to do better in here. That might look very pretty. And that is bigger. And then you can go maybe in here or in that pot. Yeah, I think I'm going to put this one. This is called, I should know this. I always call this a fall plant. This is the Croton, because this is when you normally see these plants. You normally see them in a fall. Let me get my trays. Here we go. So I owe this plant a tray since I borrowed it for that. And then we're definitely going to need a tray for this before watering. Okay. I know some people don't really like the plastic trays. They really don't like the look of them. Excuse me. And things, but they do what they serve their purpose. So the soil I'm using, once again, I'm using some potting mix. And this is the brand from, where did I get? Home Depot. The one thing I noticed about this particular soil mix, though, it has a lot of sticks in it. I don't really like it, but I don't care to sift, because that is something that I normally do with potting mix. Even when I start my seeds, I will sift the soil, because seeds like to be in like loose soil and airy soil, but no, I don't want to do that today. So you are very dry. So we're going to put you in here. Yep. And just remember, like when you're dealing with soil, that your roots are growing down. So you see how I just put that nice black potting soil in here, but I'm putting this soil in here. The roots are going to grow down. Nothing is actually wrong with this potting soil. I think it's just dry. The plant obviously needs water. So, and the root system looks good and it looks dry. And that's the thing that I believe can happen with terracotta pots as well, is that they can dry out on you, if I'm not mistaken. Like they kind of like seep water or something like that. But like I said, I like the look of the terracotta pot more outdoors, or like in my shed, or if I had a greenhouse or something. That's what I like right now. So that looks real pretty. Oh my God, see that? What a difference. We will use you back outside for sure. So let's water this in. And since it was so dry, I'm going to give it a good dose, and whatever it doesn't take, it will seep down in here. And then when it needs it again, the soil will pull it up. This is such a pretty pot. I wonder if that has something to do with, like, it's been growing fine, but I'm wondering if it being in the pot, that particular pot, had something to do with the dryness. Okay, we're going to leave that there, and let's make a decision on to use this black pot or to use this other gray pot. I have so many gray pots. I think that this would that looks good in there. Let's see. Okay, either one would do, but I really think I'm digging the black pot. And this came with like a little pot that I could keep it in, so we'll save that. And this has been well watered. And so these pots right here, we will save for another day. So let's get some potting mix in here. I think the black will help break up the gray. So, and I don't have all gray pots over here either. There's gray, there's kind of like goldish pots. There is a pot that has some green in it. I have a very nice green pot over there as well with that big plant in there. I cannot remember the name of that plant. Let's get you in. This has been well watered. They must have just watered this or something. I love me a succulent. And we could also do this method. Let me show you another method of planting. I just always forget to do it. You take the container that the plant was actually in, and you just kind of sit it in here. You sit it in there, and then what you do, can y'all see that? You sit the plant in here, the holder that the plant was in, because that means it's the size of the plant. You take the container and you stick it in here. And then what you do is you plant around this container. And that should give you the absolute perfect fit you need. You see how it's a little messy? And so let it get down in there. And the point is that the plant, and I'm just making a bigger mess than I guess needed, is the same size as this. So now you have in there your little hole, and you have all the soil all up around the sides. I'm using a different stand today. So you see that? You have the hole. So now the plant can just settle right in there. So now we can just take the succulent and sit it down there, and you don't have to fill up anything. It should just fit right in there. And it does. And you don't want to fill your plant to the tippity top because you want to leave room for the soil to go down in there. I am going to just add a little bit more. There we go. She's pretty. Stick her tag in there. Even though it doesn't tell us the name. Still, I must clean up this mess. And so that's going to do it for today. Look, they are gorgeous. I love each and every one of these pots and the flowers that we planted up today. I think this is I love I love them all for their own reasons. But anyways, so I'm going to stick these two are most likely going to go in the window over here. All the plants are doing great. This is going to go in another window over there, but I think they all look fabulous. But once again, I'm going to say thank you, because if you're not here, what's the point of me being here? I don't care if one or two of you show up. I appreciate you all. Just know that. So don't forget to like. Don't forget to leave a comment. I do comment back. They will tell you. You will see. I do comment back. Don't forget to subscribe if you're not already subscribed. And thank you again for being here. Ta-da! Blessings. Bye.